Let's get right into it. Number 10. The perfect heart attack. Imagine running a marathon. You've trained for months. You're glowing with endorphins, and your body looks like it was carved out of performance-enhancing marble. And then, bam! You collapse and die at mile 24, while holding a banana and wearing one of those shiny silver space blankets. Welcome to the world of sudden cardiac arrest in perfectly healthy people. Yes, your heart, the one pumping valiantly for 70-plus years on average, can just stop, like it saw a scary number on your credit card bill and noped out. Now, this isn't a heart attack in the Hollywood, grab your chest and fall over sense. A heart attack is a plumbing issue, blocked arteries. Sudden cardiac arrest? That's an electrical problem. Basically, your heart's rhythm decides to beat like a dubstep remix, chaotic, unpredictable, and deeply unhelpful. The most terrifying part? This can happen even if your heart looks fine. Enter the villain. Arrhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy, a rare condition where the heart muscle gets replaced with fat and scar tissue. It mostly affects young athletes and doesn't show up on regular checkups. Fun. So, while you're out there doing CrossFit or competing in your 4th triathlon of the month, just know your heart might be one electrical misfire away from pulling the plug. Basically, your cardiovascular system is that coworker who's fine all week, then suddenly rage quits during a Zoom call. Number 9. Brainstem Blackout. You know how your brain is kind of in charge of literally everything? Breathing, blinking, resisting the urge to text your ex? Yeah, there's a tiny part of it called the brainstem that basically acts like the power strip for your whole body. And if that little strip gets yanked, game over. A stroke in the brainstem doesn't give you much warning. It's not like the classic face droop, arm numb, slurred speech kind of stroke. It's more like, 1 second you're sipping green tea, the next your body forgets how to be alive. No heartbeat, no breath, no dramatic goodbyes. What's especially cruel is that this can happen with no prior symptoms, and in people who seem extremely healthy. You might not even know your blood vessels have decided to play Russian roulette until it's too late. It's the equivalent of having a state-of-the-art smart home and someone just kicks the power supply in the basement. Also, because the brainstem is deep in your skull, it's incredibly hard to reach surgically. It's like trying to change a light bulb in a building where the switch is behind a wall of reinforced steel and bad luck. Basically, your brain is the CEO of your body, but the brainstem is the power grid. And if the grid fails, well, let's just say there are no refunds on consciousness. Number 8. The vagal nerve meltdown. Picture this. You're standing in line at the DMV, the air smells like lost dreams, and suddenly, you faint. Not from fear or low blood sugar, but because your vagus nerve decided to throw a little tantrum. The vagus nerve runs from your brain to your gut and helps regulate things like heart rate, digestion, and your general will to live. When overstimulated, say by pain, fear, or watching your phone fall face down, it can cause a dramatic drop in heart rate and blood pressure. You pass out. Sometimes, for good. This is called vasovagal syncope, which sounds like a fancy medieval spell, but is really just your nervous system going, nope, too much. And while most people bounce back from a fainting spell with nothing but mild embarrassment and a crumpled dignity, in rare cases, this response is so strong it leads to cardiac arrest. Let me repeat. You can die from being too sensitive to needles or poop. Seriously, defecation syncope is a thing. People have literally died on the toilet because their vagus nerve threw a pity party. Your nervous system, ladies and gentlemen, capable of regulating trillions of processes a day, and also occasionally killing you because you stood up too fast. Number 7. The sleep switch. Glitch. Sleep. That magical time when your brain finally stops screaming and lets you pretend your life is fine. But what if I told you that sleep can sometimes be fatal? Enter sudden unexplained nocturnal death syndrome, SUNS. A real condition mostly seen in healthy young men, particularly of Southeast Asian descent. 1 minute you're snoring like a content walrus. The next, you're gone. There's no warning, no dreams of impending doom, just electrical chaos in the heart, usually due to a condition called Brugada syndrome, and death. The worst part? Brugada often doesn't show up until it's too late. It's like your heart hides its murder plans under the mattress and only pulls them out at 3 a.m. This phenomenon became so common in the 1980s among Southeast Asian refugees that it inspired actual horror movies. That's right, Freddy Krueger was partly inspired by this condition. Imagine dying in your sleep and having your death blamed on a burn-scarred dream demon in a fedora. So yes, your body can betray you even in bed. Sweet dreams. Number 6. The Air Bubble Betrayal. You ever feel invincible on vacation? Sun's out, margarita in hand, you're lounging by the pool like you're in a stock photo labeled "Living Your Best Life." And then someone suggests scuba diving. You agree, because why wouldn't you want to see a fish up close? And that's when your lungs start plotting your demise. Let's talk about arterial gas embolism, which is a fancy way of saying an air bubble goes rogue and blocks an artery. If you ascend from deep water too quickly, without letting the compressed gases in your body ease out properly, you can end up with air bubbles in your bloodstream, tiny ones, like a microscopic soda explosion. If one of those bubbles hits your brain or heart, it's lights out, like flipping the off switch on a very expensive human machine. Even more terrifying? This doesn't just happen to amateur scuba tourists. Even trained divers can get hit with decompression sickness or embolisms if their equipment malfunctions or they panic and rocket to the surface like a startled sea cucumber. Oh, and in rare cases this can also happen during medical procedures, especially ones involving the veins and catheters. So yes, even your friendly neighborhood hospital can accidentally air pop you. In short, your body is not a balloon. Don't treat it like one. Number 5. Adrenaline overdose. You know that feeling when you're watching a horror movie and the jump scare actually gets you? Your heart races, your hands sweat, and you momentarily forget you're a grown adult afraid of a girl in a nightgown. That's adrenaline. And while it usually helps you survive things like public speaking or bear attacks, it can, in rare cases, turn into an internal supervillain. Introducing catecholaminergic polymorphic ventricular tachycardia, CPVT. Sounds like a bad Scrabble hand, but it's actually a rare genetic condition where your heart flips out only when you're emotionally or physically stressed, like say if you're chased by a dog, or your Wi-Fi drops during a Zoom interview. The heart's electrical system gets overwhelmed by the sudden adrenaline dump, and instead of speeding up slightly, it spirals into a deadly rhythm and just gives up. People with CPVT often don't know they have it. They feel healthy, run marathons, ace checkups, and then suddenly collapse during a school dodgeball game or while winning a karaoke contest. Yes, death by Bohemian Rhapsody is medically possible. In a cruel twist, the very hormone designed to help you survive danger can actually be the danger. It's like having a fire extinguisher that shoots napalm. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.